Let me ask you a question. Why are you weak? Why are you afraid to stand strong in your beliefs? Seriously, I've got a theory behind this. I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but probably in the last 25 to 30 years, we've removed consequences from the schools. Consequences? What do you mean? There's plenty of consequences. Kids get detention, they get suspended, all that kind of stuff. You're right. That's still in the schools. For those of you new here, I'm a high school teacher. And just last week, I walked up to my principal and one of my administrators, and we had a little conversation, and I told him my theory that I think consequences are gone from school. Because when I was in school, if you popped your mouth off to the wrong person, they threw you up against a locker. If you tried to bully someone, you might get punched in the mouth. I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying that's a good idea. But it was a consequence for being a jerk. And what would happen is the two of you would get down to the principal's office, and the principal would say, "What happened?" And you'd say, "Well, he called me a jerk." The principal would ask, "Is that what you did?" "Yeah." "Well, did you learn anything?" "Yeah." "Don't do it again. Now shake hands and go back to class." And that was the end of it. Now, fighting in school, probably not a good idea. In fact, I know it's not a good idea. But at the same time, you knew that if you said something to somebody that was ugly, that was hurtful, you might just have to pay a price. Nowadays, there's no consequence. You can sit behind your keyboard and be a little warrior and be a jerk, an absolute butthead. There's no ramifications. There's no consequence for your actions. You might get canceled, but not really, because you're hiding behind user number 2965832. You're hiding. You know that your anonymity keeps you free of consequence. And because there's no consequence, there's no healthy fear. There's no responsibility for what you say. You see, if you were a jerk back in the day, or you crossed the wrong person, your responsibility is own what you say. Believe in what you say. Sometimes you got hurt for it. Is that good? I don't know. But here's what I do know. We got a bunch of people hiding behind keyboards, not willing to stand up for what they say, take responsibility for what they say. And I think by default, we're weaker because of it. Strong men speak their minds. They say what they believe. Strong men are not jerks, but they know that their beliefs might cause controversy, but they're still willing to stand strong on their beliefs. They have conviction. They understand that they may not be popular. They're not interested in winning over the crowd, in pleasing people. You see, the people pleasers, the naysayers, all those folks, they're weak. Let's be honest. The strong ones, usually they're quiet, because for so long, the naysayers have been so loud, we're afraid to speak our minds. But I think there's going to be a generational shift. I think we're stronger. When my son was in high school, I asked him about his generation, and he said, "Dad, I think our generation is going to see the light. We get all of our news from several different sources. It's at our fingertips. We can discern what's good, what's bad, what's truthful, what's false. And I think because of it, our generation is going to be strong." And I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see the strength in men come back, the strength in society come back. I'm not talking about mob rule. I'm talking about people willing to stand up for their convictions, their beliefs, stand up for who they are. I think we need that. I think we need to become strong again. Because if we're strong and we're together and we're good people, we can have a good society. And if you're still here, drop me a comment below. Give me your thoughts on strong and weak men. Are you strong or are you weak? My name's Jim Burrows, and I'll see you in the next video.